The daughter brought her boyfriend home for the first time, and her mother immediately realized the man before her seemed to have an unsavory history with her. It turned out that just 3 days earlier, while Mike was drinking alone at a bar, he suddenly noticed a beautiful woman in a red dress sitting nearby. Without hesitation, Mike approached the woman and, with his smooth talk, quickly had her eating out of his hand. At that moment, he never imagined this woman would turn out to be his future mother-in-law. As the alcohol flowed, their conversation gradually became more open. When the moment was right, they ultimately couldn't resist and did the most inappropriate thing. However, just 3 days later, they met again under these circumstances.
What the fuck are you doing here? You said you were divorced.
What are you doing with my daughter?
Oh, your daughter? You mean the one I was all bent out of shape about at the bar?
Oh, God.
Before they could clarify the situation, the daughter suddenly walked over. Laura wanted to send this future son-in-law away immediately, but to avoid arousing her daughter's suspicions, she had no choice but to let Mike stay for dinner. During the meal, watching Mike exchange flirtatious glances with her daughter, Laura felt uneasy. She knew what kind of person Mike was, behind closed doors, but with her husband right beside her, she couldn't make it too obvious. However, to vent her frustration, she still made snide remarks targeting Mike at every turn, with palpable tension between them. Seeing his wife treat their future son-in-law so rudely, the husband couldn't help but chide her. Unexpectedly, his wife showed no regard for his face and directly retorted, even turning around and returning to her room. Embarrassed and trying to save face, the husband had no choice but to follow close behind. He couldn't understand why his wife kept targeting Mike. The young man seemed harmless enough, but in his wife's mouth, he had become a despicable villain. At this point, the daughter also seemed to notice that something was amiss. Her mother was usually very approachable, so why had she become like this today? However, just as she was apologizing to her boyfriend for her mother's behavior, the older couple suddenly emerged. Seeing this, Mike hurriedly made an excuse to leave, claiming he had a toothache and urgently needed to go to the store for medicine. Unexpectedly, his future father-in-law insisted on going to buy the medicine himself. To avoid arousing suspicion, Mike had no choice but to get into his future father-in-law's car. Soon, the two returned home with the medicine. However, just when he thought he could finally find an excuse to go home, his girlfriend insisted that he stay the night. As Mike was about to refuse, his future father-in-law suddenly declared the matter settled. In a daze, Mike ended up staying.